What's up everyone, I'm Wandavision host Sway, and this is Comrom, where we do nerdy reviews with the occasional booze. Alright, WandaVision, episode 3. This may have been the best episode so far. But before we get into that, if you have not seen the episode, this is a major spoiler review for episode 3. So if you have not seen the episode yet, go over there, watch the episode, come back over here so we can have a discussion about it in the comment section. And if you want to see more nerdy reviews just like this one, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing next time that we post a video. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the review. Alright, so if you remember from last week in episode 2, we leave with Wanda and Vision in this new colored world where they are now expecting a baby. So fast forward to now, episode 3, it's about a 12-hour time frame that we're in, but like a 10-year difference. So we're in the 70s now, so we're continuing the theme of shows from back in the day. So this week we got the Brady Bunch. You know, last week in episode 2 there was Bewitched, but now we're in the 70s, so I thought that was pretty cool how they brought in the Brady Bunch aspect of it. The episode opens with the doctor over at Wanda and Vision's home, letting them know that they are indeed expecting a child. But quickly right after that, we get our first weird like mystery moment in the episode when, after the doctor leaves the house, Vision goes outside and sees Herb, who appears to be trimming this concrete wall between the neighbors' homes. Now this moment's a little odd because it's almost like a glitch in the Matrix, and Herb looks like he just gets stuck, kind of frozen when he's taking the chainsaw to that cinder block wall. Now if you remember back in episode 1 when Mr. and Mrs. Hart were over at Wandavision's home for dinner and Mr. Hart starts to choke, Mrs. Hart kind of gets stuck in that same situation, that glitch in the Matrix almost, like when she starts to say stop it over and over and over again. I believe that that cements that there's definitely something going on here. We just don't know exactly who is the cause behind all of this just yet. Is it Wanda? Is it Mephisto? Is it Hydra? Is it Agnes? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in just a little bit here. Now back to the Brady Bunch family vibes. We get this wholesome moment, like this very nice family moment with Wanda and Vision when they're putting together the nursery, when they're trying to pick out the name for their child. They go back and forth between the names Tommy and Billy, which if you don't already know, they end up becoming Wiccan and Speed, which are two major characters in the MCU. And then we get another glimpse of just Wanda's extraordinary power when Vision starts to realize that there's something going on in Westview that's not quite right. He starts to kind of put together the pieces of the puzzle back from episode 1, just as mentioned with Mr. and Mrs. Hart. He brings up the moment with Herb, putting together the pieces that something is a bit off here. But before he finishes his thoughts, Wanda's like, nope, we're not even going there. Just flips time back just a few moments ago and just changes the conversation completely to fit this perfect life that she wants to believe that she's truly in her mind. After Wanda and Vision go through a couple of practice breathing exercises, we get another one of these commercials, these middle of the episode advertisements, if you will, that kind of cut into the show like an old commercial break from back in the day. In episode 1 we got the Tony Stark appliance, in episode 2 we got the Hydra watch, and now in 3 we got Hydra again, and this time it's like a bubble bath soap, right? But let's break down the message and just level with this little theory that I have here. Tell me if you agree down in the comment section. The whole theme of the commercial is to escape, to get away. It says when you want to get away, but you don't want to go anywhere. Could this be a clue as to what's going on here? Is it really Wanda that's created this world in her mind, or is it someone else that's created this portal or this world where they can't escape? Could it be Hydra? Have they possibly infiltrated their way into this world and have something to do with what's going on? Let me know what you think. Comments are open. Let's have a whole discussion about it. Geraldine pays Wanda a visit after all these power surges and all this kooky wacky stuff is going on, which seems to be because of Wanda's pregnancy. So she comes over to borrow a bucket. We get the call back to the Brady Bunch once again with the funny sitcom situation when Geraldine is simply trying to tell Wanda about what happened at work, and Wanda's more focused on trying to get the stork out of Geraldine's way. And we'll talk about Geraldine more here in just a second, but right after that interaction, Vision whooshes in with the doctor as Wanda's starting to give birth to their first child. Vision embraces the name that Wanda came up with, Tommy, the all-American name, but then realizes that she's having twins, key in Speed and Wiccan. Now with Speed and Wiccan being as such big MCU characters as they are, shows like Miss Marvel coming in the near future, Kate Bishop being announced as a recurring character in the MCU, we know that it's just a matter of time before we finally get to see the Young Avengers show. After the twins are delivered, Vision walks the doctor out and tells him that he hopes he can still make the vacation that he has planned with his wife. Doctor says, I don't think we'll get away after all, you know, small towns, hard to escape. Another clue. Just a little bit more information telling me that these characters in Westview definitely know a little bit more than they're leading on. Just putting me back in that mindset, what we talked about last week on the episode that we did on episode 1, where I was getting the Truman Show vibes. Now to the climactic part of the episode where simultaneously Vision is outside speaking with Agnes and Herb, talking about Geraldine, aka Monica Rambeau. Agnes asks Vision if Geraldine is inside the house with Wanda, and Herb and Agnes mention the fact that Geraldine is new to the neighborhood and doesn't have a family, doesn't have a husband, doesn't have a home, which leads us back to the theory that Geraldine is working with SWORD. So back to episode 2 when we see that red helicopter in the bushes, when the helicopter was the only colored object in this entire world. Just to piggyback off what Antonio Ache said last week, was this helicopter a real size helicopter? Is this how Geraldine entered Westview? Does Geraldine even know what's going on? Because inside, when she's talking to Wanda, Wanda mentions that she too was a twin, but her brother was killed. She knows that Wanda's brother was killed by Ultron, so could Ultron be working his way back into the MCU? I think that we can cement the fact that she's working with a sword with the symbol around her neck, but it's just a matter of time before we actually get to see that. The last scene of the episode raises some questions for me. We see Wanda dazed, almost in a happiness that she got rid of Geraldine. Almost in a way, it's like, no one's about to take my family away, my husband, my twins at any cost, right? We see Geraldine get kicked outside of the Westview portal. We see the Westview sign outside this big dome with almost football stadium lights pointing into it. Again, the Truman Show vibes. But then we see these SUVs and helicopters come and pick up Geraldine, which to me raises some questions. Is Wanda in on everything that's going on here in Westview? Is it possible that maybe she made a deal with the devil, aka Mephisto, in order for her to be able to spawn these twins and still keep this reality in her mind where she's happy with her family and Vision? Or has reality as a whole been warped? Because if you think about it, in episode 1 we're in the 50s, episode 2 60s, and now episode 3 we're in the 70s. So if this really is something that Wanda's creating in her mind and she's accelerating time in decades, this has to be warping the outside reality in some sort, right? Possibly creating multiple timelines, multiple universes, multiple versions of characters. Or is this in fact SWORD who has set up camp outside of the Westview force field and is doing anything they can to get inside of Westview to save Wanda? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Alright guys, hope you like this quick breakdown and theory video of WandaVision episode 3. So far I'm really enjoying this show. I can't wait to see what's coming next week. We gotta get through this because you know Falcon and Winter Soldier premieres 2 weeks after this series ends, and I can't wait to get to that. This is gonna be a fantastic year. So as always, if you liked the video, give it a quick thumbs up. If you don't mind, while you're down there, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell too so you're notified every time that we post a video. We got lots of videos coming. There's lots of shows coming out, so there's lots of videos to be made. I'm Levita Josue, and this is Comrom, where we do nerdy reviews with the occasional booze. More like occasional coffee these days.